Alright, so back to the world of trading cards for a minute. This is, I'm not trying to pass this off as a fact. This is just a theory, or I guess an assumption I've had for quite some time when it comes to this company. And this is a big reason why I dislike the whole grading system and everything when it comes to trading cards. If it's for you, that's great. It's not really for me. I prefer my cards raw and in a binder, but whatever. My personal opinion is that PSA is a massive scam. A massive scam. I don't have any proof of this, and I'm not passing this off as fact, but I fully believe PSA cuts deals with big content creators to give them better grades on their cards, because I have seen certain content creators, again, not going to say names because I'm not trying to throw anyone under any buses, and again, there's no proof of this, this is just my assumption. I have seen massive content creators sending cards that are in blatantly shit condition, something that would get nothing more than a 6 or possibly, like, that's being generous, a 6, and the card comes back with a 9, 9.5. But then you see all kinds of stories all over the internet where their grading is completely inconsistent for the little guy. Like, I remember seeing one about a month ago in which a guy sent in, and I'm not into sports cards, I'm more so into the Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and all that. Guy sent in a Kobe Bryant card, and originally, and we're talking gem mint out of the pack, no issues with the card whatsoever, pack to sleeve, top loader, sent to them. Now, he was thinking this was going to be at least a 9.5 or a 10, and he gets it back from PSA, and I believe it was only an 8. So he calls bullshit on this, cracks the slab, like a lot of people will do. They'll crack the slab if they don't like their grade, and sends it back to PSA. Again, no altering of the card, mishandling of the card or something, and magically it comes back again a second time, a 5 this time. I feel like, honestly, because they're so overwhelmed, they do not pay attention to smaller people's orders. Like, they just say, oh, there's a smudge in the corner, that's a 5. They don't care. They only care about bigger content creators' cards. And so, my point I was getting to here, though, is, so again, he calls bullshit on this, cracks the slab a second time, sends it to Beckett this time, and Beckett grades it a 9.5 gem mint. How is that possible? When PSA is supposedly the king of grading, supposedly the best one you could go with, but there's no consistency in how they grade cards. It makes no sense to me. When I go, and again, I go back to what I was saying earlier in this video. I see big content creators send out humongous, massive orders of cards, and very rarely, if ever, do they come back lower than an 8.5. I've seen whole videos where you can blatantly see the dings in the corners of the cards in the fucking slab, but they have an 8.5 or a 9. And that's what brings me to believe that PSA is cutting deals with larger content creators to give their cards better grades. I'm not sure why, if there's any under-the-table money. And again, not even sure if it's a fact. It's just an assumption of mine. It's a theory, a game theory of mine. But I guess that also brings me to another thing in the grading scene. There's a lot more grading companies coming out now to compete with PSA, and it's great because now it might actually force them to fairly grade cards instead of only grading, big content creators' cards, like 10s and above. Not really much else to say. This one was a shorter video about how I really just dislike PSA, and I think that they're a not such a great company, and they really can improve. In fact, they need to improve to compete with their new competition. Not only it's just like you raise prices and you grade unfairly. It's just not a good look, and I personally think a lot less people will be doing business with them in the coming years. That's really all I had to say on this subject. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you haven't, and see ya.